Okay, so now in this chapter, guys, let's talk about a comprehension. Many people get scared about this comprehension, which is completely fine. I don't think that you should feel scared about this comprehension. If you don't want to go ahead with the comprehension, it's completely fine. It's not hard and fast. It's not mandatory that you should always try to write this kind of a comprehension, which I'm going to teach you. It's completely okay and it's completely fine that do it just by writing a couple of lines of a for loop. For example, let's talk about one example, then I'm going to explain you what is the comprehension. So here, for example, so let's suppose I have to produce a data, and then inside a list I have to store a square of that data. For example, for I in, let's suppose I'm going to create a empty list, yeah, and then for I in a range of, and then here I'm going to produce a data maybe till 8th. Fine, till 8th I'm going to produce the data, and then I'm going to print like a square of this entire 8. Yeah, so till 8, so till 0 to 7 it is going to print. As we all know that 8 will be like the upper bound is going to be silent, it is going to print. Now my requirement is to not just print over here, right? That's completely fine, but give me a final list in which store all of these data. Means a square of like a data starting from 0 till 7, it is supposed to store inside the list. How I can do it? Simple, list dot append I can try to call, and then I can try to append basically I of square. Simple. And then if I'm going to print list, I will be able to get the data. Simple, right? So here I'm trying to just produce the data, and then I'm trying to append the data into this empty list, and then I'm printing it. Yeah. Now same operation, exact same operation, I will be able to do it in a different way. And the way is called as shorthand. The way is called as basically comprehension. So here for I in a range of, I can write same code 8. Yeah. Now it is going to produce a data from 0 till 7. We all know that, right? It will try to extract the data one by one, 0 till 7. I can keep it inside a list. I can write over here that try to give me a return of I of square. Now this output and this output is exactly same, and this approach is called as comprehension. Like I said, it's not hard and fast that you should always write a comprehension, but it's not tough. I'm writing same thing, right? And then whatever, so this is my statement, whatever it is going to return, I'm going to return it before, always before, and I'm trying to wrap it up inside a list so that I don't have to go and create a empty list, or I have to do such kind of operation with respect to an empty list. No, not at all. Right? So this is basically called as list comprehension, guys, where you are going to write a shorthand. If you don't like it, it's fine. Go ahead, don't write it, and go ahead with this kind of approach. It's completely fine, right? It's completely fine. No one is going to ask you anything. Okay, fine. Now let's suppose I am going to do a list comprehension, right? I'm going to do a list comprehension. I have to produce a data, maybe from 1 to 20. I have to produce the data. And I have to create a list of only even number. Okay, means finally I'm looking for a list of even number. So what I can do is I can write a for loop for I in a range of 1 to 20, right? So 1 to 21 I can try to give over here. It is going to produce a data from 1 to 20. And then I'm going to write a condition for the filtration, because I have to store only even number, but there will be like odd number in between 1 to 21. Yeah, so I can write a condition that if I remainder 2 is equal to 0, only in that case give me what? Give me I. So as you can see once again that I have written a data generation over here. This is the condition on top of the data, which I could have written over here, second line as well, if I would have not gone through this comprehension approach. And then this is the return. Right, this is the return. Now this entire list, I wrap it up inside the entire list. So this is the final list, which is having all the even number between 1 to 21. As per my requirement, I'm able to get it. Right, I'm able to get it. Now, so here, let's suppose I have a list, and inside this list, I have basically SUDH. I have a Euron over here, Euron over here, and I have basically Python, PYTHON Python over here. Now someone is asking me that do one thing, return me a list. I'm looking for a final list, right? List as a final result, but try to convert all of these letters into an uppercase. I can do it. You do it with the help of comprehension. How? For I in L, right? I in L. So one by one, extract the data, and then I dot u double p er upper. Yeah, u double p er upper. Done. Comprehension, right? For I in L, so going through this element one by one, extracting it and then converting it to uppercase and holding it inside the list. So final list, I'm able to get it in a easiest possible way. Very simple, right? Very simple. Fine. And so this is again one of the case. Now let's talk about another case. So we have a list, let's suppose, and inside that we have like another list 4,5, and then we have another list called as 7,8. Now this is the list. We have list inside the list, by the way. Yeah, we have list inside the list. Now I'm looking for list L1 as a final outcome. So which should have 4,5 and then which should have 7,8. Yeah. So I'm trying to flatten this entire one. I'm trying to unravel this internal list. How I can do that? With the help of comprehension. So for I in L, now return I. Return I. Same thing is that is return, because I in L means what? I will be this and then I will be this. And trying to return the same I, right? Now what I have to do is, so once it will return the first I, right? So I can try to write for j in I, iterate over the I now, and then return what? So return basically j, unraveled. Yeah. So first take out this 4,5. Now out of this 4,5, try to take out 4 and 5. Yes. Inside j, then go to the next one, I value. So for I in j, so double for loop I'm able to implement even inside this one, which is a very simple thing that you all will be able to find out. So this is how the list comprehension works, guys. It's not very tough, as you can see. But again, those who are not comfortable, don't go ahead with this one. It's completely fine. I'm not advising you. You can go ahead with like a simple, the way we used to write like a for loop and then we try to create a list. Just go in that way. It's fine. It's fine. No, there is no harm in that. Yeah, there is no harm in that. It's completely fine with, as you will grow. So you will be able to understand it very soon. But yeah, it's not a tough concept to understand. Now, similarly, I can try to do a set comprehension, which is going to return me set as a final result. How I can do that? So maybe I can like, I have this, this one, right? Now, if someone is going to ask me that try to return only for I in, right? This data, try to return I can return I as a set. That's fine. If someone is going to ask me that try to return only odd number. So if I percentile 2 is not equal to 0, right? Is not equal to 0, just odd number, right? I simply return the condition over here and it is going to return me the set of, this is what? This is a set. So I'm talking about basically a set comprehension over here and here. So just like a list, I'm trying to follow along with the set comprehension. I'm not doing anything different over here, guys. A very simple approach I'm trying to implement in this particular place. Yeah. So for example, I have this list. I have this list. One more example I would like to show you. So someone is asking me that try to go through this list and try to return me the very first letter of each and every word. For Sudhanshu S, for Euron E, for Python P. So try to return a very first letter of all of these words as a set, means as a unique entity. Try to return me that. I can do that. So for I in L, so go through this entire element one by one, right? Wrap it up inside a set. Wrap it up inside the set. Now I know that I will be what? I will be SUDH, then I will be Euron, I will be Python, right? So try to get I of 0, because we know that string follows the indexing operation. So basically EPS, E, then P, then S, I'm able to get it. The very first letter of each and every word which we have over here. We are able to get it. Yeah. So this is how set comprehension works, guys, just like a list comprehension. Now, those who don't like it, it's fine. You can try to follow the regular approach. That there is no harm in that. Again, now, so let me show you a dictionary comprehension. So let's suppose there is a question that I have to produce a dictionary, and we all know that dictionary is nothing but it's a key value pair. So I have to produce a dictionary. So where key is going to be the number from 0 till 10. Yeah. Just listen up. Yeah. Carefully. So I have to produce a dictionary. So where key is going to be a number from 0 to 1 and its value is going to be a square of it. And I have to produce a dictionary. What I'm trying to say that for I in a range of, so I'm going to produce like a value, key is going to be 0 to 10, let's suppose. So 0 to 10 means 11 I'm going to give. So it is going to produce 11 data. Let's wrap it up inside this curly braces, which is a symbol for dictionary as well. So for I in a range of this, key is going to be what? Key is going to be the value itself, I, and its value is going to be what? So colon I square. Key value, key value, key value, key value, key value pair. So where key is going to be the number itself and its value is basically a square of that particular number, right? A square of that particular number, as you all are able to see. So this is again a dictionary comprehension. Now, so whether I'm talking about a list comprehension, I'm going to talk about a set comprehension, I'm going to talk about the dictionary comprehension. It's, believe me, it's not very different. It's not very different. Just you're trying to wrap up, right? So guys, now it's all about this data structure, which I'm going to use again and again and again as I'm going to move, as I'm going to progress inside your class. So every time, everywhere, I'm going to just use it. But please make sure that you're solving assignment, you're solving a quizzes, whatever material that we are giving you, you're going through it. That's a correct way of learning. Otherwise, just watching a lecture is not going to do the job. So with that, guys, thank you so much. See you again in my next lecture.